4 months into the 12th eclipse, the city had not stopped talking about Darius Voss. The challenge replay looped endlessly across public screens, 40 against 1, 40 dead, 1 survivor. Even Aurora had to admit it was impressive. Disturbing, but impressive. Sparkle Doom sat in the main lounge of Reaper headquarters, watching the final moments of the replay. The image froze on Darius, limping from the arena covered in blood. The scoreboard hovered beside him. 400 contestants remaining. 1. Darius Voss, 68. 2. Kale Solvaris, 26. 3. Aurora, Reach, 6-4. Ellie Dawnfall, 6-5. Plum, 6-6. Pines, 1. Silence lingered. Then Plum finally spoke. Still reckon he smells. Aurora laughed. Mira nearly choked on her drink. Even Pines smiled. Ellie shook her head. He killed 40 people. Plum shrugged. And probably still smells. Pines sighed. Excellent tactical assessment. Thank you. The replay ended. A new notification immediately appeared. Sponsor challenge available. Aurora sat forward. Oh? The challenge unfolded. Challenge name: Treasure Hide and Seek. The girls immediately looked interested. Pines looked suspicious, which usually meant trouble. The description appeared. Each member of Sparkle Doom would receive an individual objective. Each objective would reward 1 artifact piece. The artifact pieces would need to be assembled before the time limit expired. Failure by any member would fail the challenge. Timer, 120 minutes. Aurora grinned. This sounds easy. Pines laughed. The girls looked over. What? Pines folded his arms. If it's called a sponsor challenge and sounds easy, he pointed at the screen. It isn't. The objectives appeared. Aurora, retrieve relic from Lake Obsidian Depths. Ellie, cross the Razorline suspension challenge. Plum, navigate the Vault of Needles. Myra, coordinate all faction members and assemble recovered relic. Aurora frowned. Wait. Ellie pointed. We all have to split up. Plum groaned. Oh. Now they understood. The challenge wasn't the tasks. The challenge was isolation. No team, no backup, no support, just individual performance. Pines nodded. Exactly. Aurora looked thoughtful. Darius won't be a problem, not likely. He got turned into mince yesterday. Pines nodded. But somebody else might be. That wiped the smiles away. The challenge began. The first hour disappeared quickly. Ellie was an absolute monster. Her challenge turned out to be a suspended cable course stretched between 3 skyscrapers. Hundreds of meters above the city. No safety harness, no rails, no second chances. Most contestants would have taken an hour. Ellie finished in 27 minutes. The commentators immediately began calling her ridiculous. Aurora agreed. Mira guided her through the final checkpoint. Artifact Piece 1 secured. Plum's challenge proved significantly more painful. The Vault of Needles was essentially one giant puzzle designed by somebody who hated humanity. Pressure plates, hidden darts, swinging blades, false roots, exploding floor panels, the works. Thankfully, Pines accompanied her. Not physically. Challenge rules prevented direct participation. But he stayed on comms, guiding, teaching, helping. Every time Plum nearly died, Pines somehow already knew. Left. Plum jumped. A blade sliced through empty air where her head had been. Thanks, you're welcome. 5 minutes later, stop. Plum stopped. A pressure plate sat half an inch in front of her boot. Thanks. Again. The challenge took nearly 50 minutes, but eventually Plum emerged victorious. Artifact Piece 2 secured. Meanwhile, Aurora had a problem. Lake Obsidian was enormous, dark, cold, and very, very deep. She stood on the shore staring down at the water. The challenge marker blinked. The relic sat near the bottom, hundreds of feet below. Aurora frowned. That's stupid. The lake didn't care. A familiar voice appeared behind her. Talking to water usually doesn't help. Aurora turned, immediately smiling. Kale. Of course. The prince stood near the shoreline adjusting equipment on his boots. Jet runner boots, one of his signature items. Aurora walked over. What are you doing here? Training. Kale looked toward the lake, then toward her, then toward the challenge marker. Oh, Aurora folded her arms. Yep, Kale laughed. That's unfortunate. Aurora pointed dramatically. I have to get to the bottom. Kale stared, then looked at the lake again, then back at Aurora, then back at the lake. His expression became increasingly amused. What? I can help? Aurora blinked. What? Cale pointed at his boots. They're sealed. Aurora immediately understood, then immediately didn't trust it. No, yes. Aurora stared. Cale grinned. Trust me, that was the problem. She did, unfortunately. A few minutes later, she found herself wrapped securely in Cale's arms, hovering over deep water. This is the dumbest thing I've ever agreed to. Cale laughed. No, it isn't. Fair. Then they plunged beneath the surface. The boots propelled them downward, fast. The lake became darkness. Cold. Pressure. Silence. Then the artifact appeared. Aurora grabbed it. Success. Moments later, they rocketed back toward the surface, breaking through in an explosion of water. Aurora gasped. Alive, successful, not drowned. All excellent developments. When they reached shore, she handed the artifact to him briefly while catching her breath. Cale smiled. See? Aurora pointed. This would have been the world's worst elimination. Cale blinked. What? Aurora laughed. Imagine explaining that. The prince looked confused. Aurora adopted a dramatic announcer voice. Local prince catfishes girl into lake and drowns her using flying boots. Cale laughed so hard he nearly dropped the relic. That's terrible, I know. They both continued laughing. The timer appeared. 38 minutes remained. Aurora looked toward the distant city. Need to get back, I can help. How? Cale smiled, dangerously. Aurora immediately became suspicious, then he picked her up, without warning. Cale! The jet boots activated, the world vanished. They shot into the sky. Aurora screamed, completely, totally, unashamedly, screamed, her face buried into his chest instantly. The city became a blur beneath them. 5 seconds later, she finally realized she wasn't dying. Probably, maybe, hopefully. Slowly, she looked up. Cale was grinning. The idiot, he was enjoying this. Aurora punched his shoulder, weakly. The city stretched endlessly beneath them. Nero Vega, beautiful, alive, massive. The wind rushed past. Cale held her securely, not tightly, not possessively, just safely. For the first time, Aurora saw the city from above, really saw it. And something settled inside her. A memory. One of those moments people carried forever. The sort you tell grandchildren. The sort that becomes part of your life. Eventually, she pointed. There. The Reaper Tower. Cale descended, landing smoothly at the entrance. Aurora's feet touched the ground, but neither moved immediately. They were still close, still standing together. Aurora smiled. Thank you. Cale smiled back. You'll owe me. She laughed. Sure. Then she paused. I'll call you later. He nodded. A moment passed, then he asked. So what is this? Aurora blinked. What? He gestured between them. The flirting, the helping, the smiling, everything. Aurora stared, thought about it, then kissed him. Short, simple, real. When she pulled back, she smiled. I don't know yet. Cale laughed. Fair. Aurora pointed toward him. Later. Then disappeared into the tower. The elevator doors opened. Aurora stepped into the penthouse, immediately froze. The entire faction stood staring at a massive screen. The screen displayed a frozen security image of her kissing Cale. Aurora's soul left her body. No. Mira smiled sweetly. Yes. Aurora pointed. Mira, I regret nothing. Plum stood. Enhance. Ellie pointed. Enhance. Pines nodded. Definitely enhance. Aurora looked around wildly. We have a challenge. Silence. Everyone blinked. Then, oh shit, the challenge, right. Everyone rushed into action. The completed pedestal rose from the center of the lounge. Ancient. Mechanical. Part of the tower itself. The first 2 artifact pieces were already inserted. Mira stood waiting. Aurora handed her the third. The room became silent. Mira examined the pieces, turned them, clicked them together, twisted a section, pressed a hidden button. 3 seconds. 4. 5. Click. The completed artifact glowed green. Challenge complete. Everyone stared. Mira calmly placed it atop the central pedestal. Nothing happened. Plum frowned. Did we break it? Then the tower exploded with light. Energy surged through every wall, every display, every system. The entire headquarters came alive. Whoom! Blue light raced across the ceiling. New displays activated. Security systems expanded. City surveillance appeared. Communication arrays unfolded. The tower itself evolved. A voice echoed through the HQ. Reaper command, Nexus activated, legacy recognized, new generation verified. The room fell silent. Even Pines looked shocked. The challenge reward appeared. Headquarter upgrade unlocked. Full city surveillance access. Advanced faction communication network. Challenge prediction suite. Security enhancement systems. Tactical planning AI support. Aurora stared. This is awesome. Ellie nodded. Very awesome. Plum nodded harder. Extremely awesome. Then Pines looked at Mira. The room quieted. The old Reaper smiled. A genuine one. Wouldn't have happened without you. Mira froze. Pines continued. You solved it. Aurora nodded. You did. Ellie nodded. Definitely. Plum pointed dramatically. MVP. Mira looked down, trying not to cry. Again, failing slightly. The compliments clearly meant more to her than any reward. Aurora smiled. Good. She deserved every one of them. Hours later, dinner finished, challenge complete, reward activated. Everyone relaxed, except Aurora, because the girls had regrouped, which meant danger. Plum grinned. So? Aurora groaned. No. Ellie smiled. When's the date? No. Mira looked curious. Wait, Aurora pointed, not helping. Pines looked up from his drink. When is the date? Aurora looked betrayed. Uncle Wooshie. The room exploded. And long into the evening, while the city of Nero Vega glittered beyond the windows, Sparkle Doom laughed together like a family. For a little while, the eclipse felt very far away.